Hey YouTubers, it's me, Palm Springs Cindy. I have two things I want to talk to you about today. One of them is that I had lunch today with one of my subscribers from YouTube, somebody that watches my channel. Her name is Janice Studley. She lives in Canada, and she was down here in Palm Springs visiting. And so she contacted me and we ended up just having lunch together. So how fun is that? That someone that you've talked to only through YouTube, that you actually get to sit across the table from and enjoy a great lunch. So I was so thrilled to be able to meet her and chit chat with her and get to know her. So at any rate, that is the first thing I wanted to share, that's like that's just one of the fun things about having a YouTube channel. And the second thing I want to talk to you about is, hold on, I'm going to turn this little TV down a little tiny bit. The second thing I wanted to talk to you about was, I don't know how many women or men, but I'm talking to the women from my YouTube channel, how many women suffer from something called Restless Leg Syndrome. Now, I have had Restless Leg Syndrome, otherwise known as RLS, since I was in my mid-30s. And I didn't know what it was. I just know that I would go to sleep, I'd go to bed at night, and I could not stop moving my legs. Well, time went by, I thought I was a crazy woman, and I went to the doctor and I tried to explain to the doctor what I was feeling. Well, in those days, they had no idea what RLS was. And as I was describing it, they thought they just had no clue what I was talking about. So I left the doctor's offices like feeling unheard and crazy. So as time went by, I continued to suffer from RLS. It was periodic. It was not every night, but when it happened, it would happen for 3, 4, 5 days at a time. I would get in bed at night and I just had to start moving my legs. I moved them this way. I moved them that way. I moved them up. I moved them down. I moved them sideways. I raised them in the air. I bicycled in the air. I straightened them. I tightened my legs. I pointed my toes. I did whatever I could to like wring my legs out to the point where I didn't have to have this constant shuffling, moving of my legs. Now, for me, it was strictly my legs. It wasn't my arms, it was my legs. And so I would go back to the doctor and I would say, what the heck is wrong with me? Well, finally, I Googled what I had. And it was early days of Googling and internet. And I did pull off some papers from Google about RLS, and it described what I had really to a T. And so I went to my doctor again, and I ended up not seeing my doctor, but seeing the PA. And the PA said to me, you know what, you're not crazy. I'm hearing more and more about this. And I said, I have papers I've printed about this from the internet. So anyway, she said, may I see them? I said, of course. So anyway, I went for years and years with this restless leg business, thinking I had muscular dystrophy, or I had Lou Gehrig's disease, or I don't know, but I knew something was weird. But it would wind itself down. It would run itself out. So like if it started at 10 at night, by 3 in the morning, it was over. If it started at 1 in the morning, it was over by 5 in the morning. Didn't do me any good. I still had no sleep. So at any rate, as time went by, I did go to the doctor, and I kept mentioning this over and over again. And as my insurance would change, and I'd have new doctors, I would mention this. And so finally a doctor heard me and they put me on some medication. And the medication I'm on is called Mirapex. And I take 2 tablets at night before I go to bed, or actually, like if I think I'm going to be in bed at 11, I try to take them by 8 or 9. So they're in my system before I actually get in bed. But at any rate, the other day I was out of town and I didn't bring my medicine. And I had restless legs all night long. I did not sleep 1 minute of the nighttime. And I had to keep moving my legs and moving and cartwheeling and, just stretching. And anyway, it was just awful. So I am here to say, am I the only one that has this restless leg situation? As long as I'm on my medication, it seems to be under control. But if I would miss a night or 2 nights, it tends to like evaporate from my system, and I just start all over again with the restlessness. So it's almost like I can feel like a little thing go off in my head while I'm watching a movie at night, like pump, here comes my restlessness. And sure shooting, that's when I have restless legs. So I am 66 years old now. If any other of you ladies or gentlemen that watch, if you have this restless leg syndrome situation, please let me know. What have you done about it? What have doctors said about it to you? Because I had to fight to get my medication, but my medication does help if I take it every night. So at any rate, 2 things. Number 1, I met Janice Studley from Canada today, one of my viewers, who, what a thrill, to have lunch with someone face to face that normally leaves a comment. And number 2, I just wanted to mention this restless leg business because it is really driving me crazy. And I want to know if anybody else suffers from this or has information about it. Okay, thank you. This is Palm Springs Cindy signing off. Bye-bye.